I've been here, I've got Fozzie with me today, and we're interviewing our friends in Syncolima. Have I pronounced that right?
Yes. Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, good start.
So we got Stoff and we got Joshua here to have a chat and just tell us basically what's going on in your world regarding your music and stuff like that. So good evening.
How
Evening.
do? You're right.
Right, so obviously it's good to see you both.
You too.
Can you tell us just a little bit about what you've been up to?
Yeah, we're well. It's a very exciting weekend for us. We just announced the release details for the second album, Wavelengths. Some tour dates got coming up in February and March, and our album release party in April. Put out a video. So yeah, we've had a busy weekend. Although it was sort of all planned leading up to this. It's been a busy few months since we recorded the album back in September, and then it's just been leading up to all of this release stuff, and now we're taking pre-orders and practicing, trying to get these songs learned so we can actually play them live. And just yeah, that's more or less it. But it's
Yeah.
it's pretty. It's been a good weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been good, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Just what Josh said. We had a pretty busy year last year. Gigging, doing the metal to the masses, played the Jaeger stage at Bloodstock, and then booked in to record the album. And then we had like sort of more or less the back end of last year and Christmas off to just focus on getting all the admin stuff down, and then bash it out in 2023, and here we are.
It does seem as though since you obviously announced the band, it's just been non-stop. It's been pretty full on for you guys. Do you ever stop and take a breath?
Um,
Uh, no, not really.
yeah, no,
We did over Christmas, didn't we? We had 3 weeks without practicing.
yeah. I mean, every time we stop, I get a bit older and grayer. So yeah, lockdowns fucked me up.
We were discussing that before the interview, weren't we? It's like
Yeah,
the beards have all gone a little bit greyer since lockdown kicked in. It's amazing how long it's been since we've all kind of like been in a room, sort
yeah.
of listening to music down at Pentre. But I mean, we had Pentre Fest last year, but we sort of planned to get you guys there last year, and then it didn't happen. We got you this year, so we're quite excited to have you down there. And yeah, it's kind of good timing with the album release. So I'm looking at your Facebook page. Your album sales are going quite well. So if anyone needs it, get it, because I pointed out before that I haven't got it yet, so I'm going to get it after this video.
Yeah.
So yeah, get your hands on Wavelengths. The video's up on YouTube, so people can jump on there and watch that as well. Do you want to explain a bit about the video and where the ideas for that came from?
Okay.
Um, well,
Oh,
I'll tell you about the music, and then you can tell them about the video. Because to be honest, Gaz, our drummer, he wrote the song and he put the video together, but he's not allowed to do interviews because he's a caged animal, and we have
Right.
to put him back in his cage. So we only bring him out for practice and gigs. Um, but yeah, he kind of we let him write a song on the album. We say we let him write a song on the album. We said, come
we had to
towards right.
pester him to write us up, really, didn't we?
Yeah, it's like, come on, mate, come on. We know what you're capable of. So it's like it come to us with this song, and we kind of pieced it all together. And I think I came up with just the word wavelengths, and then you guys put all the lyrics together. And then
I wrote the lyric.
yeah, Gaz is like a massive gamer as well. You're a massive gamer, and I'm like, I play games. So we just put this video together. It was just a bit of a laugh, really, just sort of taking the piss out of us, taking the piss out of gaming, and what it's like to release a video in an underground band. And yeah, I mean we've got some other
Like,
stuff planned as well, but do you want to talk through the lyrics and the meanings and stuff?
but yeah, so like Stoff said, Gaz wrote all the music for this one. It's the first time he's brought all the music in, and it's kind of different. It was a bit tricky for us to play it to start with, wasn't it? But
Mm,
we practiced and we got it down to a level that he was happy with. And then when it came to write the lyrics, I think this was the last set of lyrics I wrote for the album. and it's all just about the sort of the power of like live music and how sort of kind of healing and good that can be for your mental health and your spirit and stuff. And it's like the chorus is like I was lost but I found myself in the wavelengths, and that's what this one's about. It's pretty positive message on this song. It's not the rest of the album's not all that positive, but this one's a very positive song. Also, it's a very chilled out song compared with everything else we've ever done. This is by far the most sort of like psychedelic and spacey and proggy. That's it.
I noticed a new logo as well.
Yeah.
Well, like obviously we got together relatively quickly, and like it was still lockdown, so we couldn't do anything. So it's like, well, let's get the page up and let's just sort of get focusing on writing some songs for when we can gig. Just like quickly get a logo together, and it kind of stuck. And we're all chatting like when we were doing the new album. It's like, oh, do the album. It's like, let's just like revamp the whole thing, get a new logo and things like that, and just not completely, just phase it in slowly with the album launch, and then as you go along, that'll be the logo going forward. But people are still going to recognize the old logo because it's still there. But we're just like, let's just revamp it, take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Was it not just like, if we have a new logo, people like Beanie will buy more T-shirts? So was it just not along them lines?
Yeah, it's a completely capitalist view on the whole thing. Obviously, we're a massively capitalist band. We're not left wing at all.
Yeah, we are.
That was sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah, I guess that.
One of the things, actually, I was at the staff party for my work last night because we work in catering, so we have our Christmas party in the middle of January. And somebody had our Facebook page up at the party, and they were like, "I like the new logo." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Thanks for saying." He said, and he kind of pointed out that the way the logo is now, like we pronounce the name of our band Syncolima. It's like 3 syllables. And if you look at the way the lines go in the new logo, it's on all 3 syllables. I don't know whether that was intentional when Laura put the logo together or just luck. But he's like, yeah, you can actually kind of read your name for the first time. I was like, oh, cool. I hadn't realised that, but that's a nice touch.
I think purely psychological. Because I think it was Gaz that said, like, I want the logo to be like sharp and spacey and kind of that direction. And then my partner Laura, she's a tattooist, so she's an artist as well, so she kind of put it all together, and it's like, oh, that works. And then, like you say, there's little bits like that hidden in it that were completely unintentional.
Does it remind you a little bit of the Def Leppard logo?
A little bit, yeah. I thought that when I saw it, actually, but that's no bad thing. If people,
I just thought it was shiny. Look, shiny.
That's just, anything that I can make purple is just good for me. So if I can get purple in there, then I'm happy.
So, obviously you're all gearing up for this your second album. You spoke about the one song in general, though. Is that normally when you're writing something, what comes first? Do you just sit down, write lyrics? Do you write the music together, and who comes up with what?
It's definitely the music first before anything else. So between us, we'll come in and go, oh, I've wrote a riff, I've wrote a song, or however big or little it'll be, and then we'll work on it together, and then we'll go back and demo it and send it to each other, and we'll piece it all together. And when we're happy with the structure, then we'll sort of write melodies and lyrics and things like that. And I mean, to be fair, it's a weird band because I think that we've all wrote songs, we've all wrote lyrics, and we've all done a bit of vocals on the album. I'm only saying that to capture my backing vocals that are on there. Whereas obviously you're the lead singer, and Gaz has actually done some serious backing vocals on the album.
Yeah. Gaz has really done some good vocals on this.
Yeah. So quite lucky, really. It's quite, everyone can do everything. It's really weird. But yeah, we'll write the music and then we'll write the vocals and lyrics over the top of that, and then depending on what's going off at the time, it might be relevant, it might be a story, or it might be just something that people can interpret for themselves.
Yeah, I always when I write lyrics, I always try and leave it a little bit vague because I think it's kind of cool for people to find their own like kind of meaning in things. If you can do that, there's some stuff on the album that you could probably be like, oh, I bet that's about that or whatever. But other stuff, hopefully, it's open enough that people could be like, oh, well, this means that to me, and like it won't, that wouldn't have even occurred to me when I was writing the lyrics. But I think that's cool, isn't it? Once you put the music out there, you want people to have their own sort of like connection to it, don't you?
Well, that's good as well because it creates dialogue then, doesn't it, with people? And it's like you start talking about different things. I know certainly something I did when I was a lot younger. Me and my brother would be sitting there talking about music all night and like what this means and what that means. And when people have got different takes on it, it is quite good. Sometimes it's like, no, this is what it means, and you're wrong. But then, as you get a bit older, and yeah, well, that means that to you, something a bit different to me, So I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Sorry,
anybody remember that Darkness song, "Growing on Me"? That like sounds like a love song, but actually it's about like warts on your penis. Like, I like
it. What song's that then?
Growing on me.
Growing on you, growing on me, something like that. But it sounds like it's written like a love song. It's really clever. But then like when you dive a bit deep, you're like, oh, this is not a love song at all. This is horrible.
When you are writing and stuff like that, where do you generally get your influences from?
Ooh. Go on. I think we all have different. We were talking about this the other day. None of us really listen to the same music. Although there's obviously there are some bands that cross over and stuff, but we've got quite a wide range of tastes, and I think it's all percolating through now that we've been together a bit longer. For me, like Megadeth was where I got started, and then kind of as I got a bit older and discovered like older bands like Sabbath, and then the stoner stuff like Clutch and Caius, and also I have a massive soft spot in my heart for pop punk music, and that is in our mix.
See, he's walked off. Yeah, I'm not interested.
Right.
He doesn't want to talk to you now.
I'll see you later.
It started off so well with Megadeth.
I'm the pop punk kid of the two of us, obviously, because Beanie tends to be more power metal and he likes Dragon. So who from the pop punk sort of world is kind of your biggest influence when you're writing stuff?
Well, my favorite bands are NoFX and Blink-182. Like people laugh at Blink-182, but you know what? They're one of the best rock bands of this century, and I will fight
amazing hidden tracks.
Well, yeah, they've got some funny stuff, but who else do I like?
They were good for about a minute, weren't they?
They've been good for like 30 years now.
They did that one bit that they stuck on the end of the track, which I suppose was taking the piss out of Judas Priest, but I thought it was amazing.
That was some 41.
Oh, yeah.
Right. 41. Okay, there you go.
Go on, mate.
It's all the same to me.
Yeah. To be fair, like I'm with Beanie here. Obviously, when Josh tries and makes us play Blink-182 at practice, that's when I know it's time to pack down.
That's actually true. As soon as I start playing those Blink-182 riffs, Stoff just turns his stuff off and starts backing up.
Well, no, like Josh says, there's like it's like a Venn diagram, with the circles kind of all meet in the middle, but we've got our own little branches off. And I started off with like Metallica and Sabbath and Zeppelin, and then got into the stoner stuff. Obviously, being a bass player as well, I like to try and better myself. So I listen to a lot of weird stuff like Ween and Primus and Faith No More, and then like funk and just sort of anything that comes up on Spotify moods and things like that. But when it comes to like writing, I kind of like, well, look at what we've already done, and then like remember what it's like at gigs, and then try and write something that is like betters myself as a player and as a songwriter and as a band, but also like makes that experience better as well. So it's like, well, last year we played the Jaeger stage, or we played kind of this kind of stuff, and like next year or the year after or whatever, want to play the next stage up. So you need to, be better, get one level better sort of thing, or a couple of levels better. And there's kind of think like, what's out at the time, what's really good, what's killing it, what do I like. And it's just, when you've wrote a good riff, because it just gives you that kind of vibe inside, and that's what I'm always after, is just if I vibe off it, because I'm very hard to please,
Yeah.
then I'll take it to
I
the
know
guys.
if I've written a good riff. If I've written a good riff, he's like, yeah, that's all right, actually. I'm like, rather than normally, which is like, no, no, no. But if I write a good one, he's like, actually, yeah, that's okay.
And then Gaz will write a song and it's like, oh fuck's sake. It's all fucking
How are we gonna play this?
Yeah.
That's what
mental arpeggios, fucking 7/4 time in.
Last night we were talking to Human Condition, and they were saying that their drummer tends to be the one who writes kind of most of the songs, and then he hands it off to the singer and he'll do some lyrics. But obviously, the drummer not being as melodic as a guitar player or perhaps a bassist, do you find it more difficult when Gaz does write stuff to try and find the song from it, or is he pretty good at finding where it needs to be at?
No, it's impossible. It is a genius confusing us.
Yeah, but
because
it's not.
It's like, sorry, mate. We kind of do
That's
that like 4/4 or like 12/8 kind of blues scale, and that's like as stringed instruments. It's like we know what we're doing, but because he's obviously come from a percussion background. I mean, he can play guitar, and he's just learning keyboards and everything. He can do everything. But it'd be like, it's no music theory. But it's like, oh, this sounds good. It's like, I'm meant to play that. I'm meant to play that. It's like, yeah. So they take the longest to learn, but they're the most rewarding. Because obviously, you're learning yourself then, and what he likes, and how you gel together as a band and songwriters and stuff.
Yeah, it's not
So
just
you're
rhythmically, like
so you're the hard one
he's
to please then, stuff, yeah?
Yep. Yeah. I'm perfection-ish.
So when
Yeah.
it comes to a riff, then is it a democratic process, or do you just say no, we're not having it?
It depends how shit it is.
I think for individual riffs, we all more or less have veto power, don't we? Like if any of us weren't happy with a bit, we wouldn't go with it, even if it's just one of us. If like the other two liked it, one of us didn't, we'd probably still either try and change it, make it better, or just junk it and try something
Yeah.
else.
But it's all about context. It depends like where the riff's going to be and what it's going to achieve for the song. Because if it's like if that or like this is the main riff, it's like it's more of a verse than a main riff, and it's like, oh yeah, I can see that now. Because I always like to do stuff and then get like the guys' opinions anyway. It's like I wrote this, let's kind of break it down, change it to how we're going to fit it together and what's best for singing over. So if I write a really complicated riff, he's not going to be able to play it and sing it at the same time. So it's like, well, and things like that. So, but overall, it does have to give you that kind of bounce and feel and vibe, and it doesn't just come from like groove; it comes from atmosphere and things like that. But as long as like the whole thing encapsulates that feeling, then you kind of like, well, I don't particularly like that bit, but I'll play it because I know it's going to get good, and then it grows on you, and then some of them are slow burners, and some of them are like straight away like, whoa.
Yeah. Plus, I think when like or like when I bring stuff in, if I know like I've got a couple of parts, I'm like, yeah, I really love these bits. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, but the guys will be able to sort the rest of it out because that's just the process, like
Yeah.
we all none of the songs of sound the same as like when any of us brought them in. They all end up kind of chopped around, changed, bits moved around, riff kind of changed about a bit, just because we've all got to be happy with it. Otherwise, it's just not going in the set or on the album.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, so I mean, overall, it is a democratic process. We'll all work together. I don't think anyone's ever took the prams out and gone, "Oh no, it's got to be like this," or "It's not working." It's like, no, it's like okay, we'll do this, we'll try that, and we'll try this and things like that.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. There's never been any like when someone brings something in and like me or stuff, whatever, whoever, and if anyone ever criticizes it, that criticism's always taken in like a really open way, and I don't think anyone's ever been like stuff says like, no, it's got to be this way. This is how I imagined it. It's just the whole thing's just it always ends up better like when things get changed around.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously you said you've been really busy so far, and you've got uh, a lot of gigs already planned. So you're really working on your live show. What can we expect at Pentre Fest?
Riffs.
Riffs.
Riffs. Riffs. You know what you can expect that we haven't done before? Harmony vocals.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get Gaz set up with his own microphone. I can't sing. There's no point in me doing it. All I can do is fluff the crowd. But yeah, obviously, like started the band up and like Gaz being who he is, and like because it all started off. I wrote like a demo for a song off the first album, and I fired it across to the guys, and then Gaz sent it back, and he wrote all the lyrics and the vocal melodies, and me and Josh were like, Gaz can sing. You bastard! Why didn't you fucking tell us? So, oh yeah, I can sing. Yeah. So like, well, we'd already like recorded it and stuff like that, and then we were like, next album, guys, you're singing, mate. So this time around, we were like, right. He wrote a couple of choruses and lyrics for songs and stuff, and so like, come on then, in the booth, do your thing. But we actually like demoed the backing vocals back and forth. So when we were demoing the songs for the ghost tracks and stuff, we like went around your house, put vocals on, and then we sent it to Gaz, and he tried out some vocal melodies for the choruses and stuff like that, and it kind of built up from there. So hopefully next year we'll like, have some keyboard or something on it and a saxophone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do any of you play saxophone?
No, but you know,
it's time to learn.
I can learn saxophone. Yeah.
So is your show gonna be a mix of both the albums then?
So where we're looking at end of February for Pentre Fest. I think it'd be a good 50-50. How long we got? Half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
there'll be
we've been...
new stuff.
Yeah, so we'll play some bangers from the first album. And we'll play like the first couple of singles that we've got sort of going out, teasing people with, and introduce them because it'll only be a few weeks after, and then the album's out, and everyone can be thoroughly disappointed by it then.
So obviously we got you out in Ibiza in May, the HRH thing, and I was there to witness the wonderful acoustic set. How do you guys feel it fits acoustically?
If we had more time and yeah, well, we've done acoustic stuff before, but I think the band went on before us were very good at doing acoustic stuff, and we weren't expecting that, and it was just like, do you know what? Let's just do it. I mean, if we really sat down and had time to like rework it all, it'd be fine. But we just kind of blasted it out, and it was all right. I mean, the PA wasn't great and things like that, but can't complain. You know, it's fun.
It wasn't an interesting PA system.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it. It was good to see you guys in a slightly different, more relaxed light. And I think it. I know you probably don't feel as though you were that prepared, but I think everyone kind of that was there kind of got enjoyed it and tried to get involved with the songs still, didn't they? So it was quite good to see.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because like those songs were like written for being like loud and in your face, and I think if we actually sat down and wrote some acoustic songs, they'd be more suited to that environment. But to just take your electric songs and bring them right down, it is tough.
My favourite bit of that set was when Rob got up on stage and pumped the crowd up for us. Do you remember that bit?
Yeah, our good friend Rob. Bless him. Yeah. I
Yeah.
especially liked my free bottle of Budweiser. It's always nice to get paid.
We did get paid a bottle of Budweiser.
You got paid a bottle of Budweiser each. That's very
Yeah.
generous of HOH.
I know. Most
That's
I've got
lovely.
for them bastards.
I assumed Fozzie was going to ask you to play an acoustic set at Pentre Fest next.
I was thinking about it.
Oh,
So we have an acoustic stage outside, and over the years, as Stoff may remember, we got
I do, yes.
to do the acoustic stage. Raped by a Bowler acoustically was quite the interesting track.
Yeah.
But
I remember that. It was genius.
yeah, we might have some time on the Saturday if you fancy bringing an acoustic guitar down with you. We can throw you on there. Give you another unprepared set if you like.
Me and Josh are always prepared. It's just whether the crowd are.
So before Pentre Fest, you're actually playing. Is it Birmingham? And it's the night before Hammerfest, if I'm right.
10th of February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of metalheads in Birmingham that would normally be there. So give that show a shout out.
Cool. Yeah, we're playing the Flapper in Birmingham on Friday, the 10th of February, with the wonderful Slump and other bands that I can't remember because my brain is fried. But yes, there's a good lineup on, and it's an excellent pub, and I'm sure it'll be glorious.
I've been the Flapper a few times and always came out on my hands and knees basically because of drunk. But yeah, always had a ball when I've gone there. So it's a lovely venue and a great pub. It's a proper metalers pub as well. So it's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So if anyone is watching and they're going down to Hammerfest the night before, that's the place to be.
From the first album, what is each of your favourite songs and why?
Go on, Stuff.
From the first album, Into the Sun, because it's like the first one we got together and wrote.
I like that.
It's pretty cool. And then Laguna, because it's the first weird song I wrote with a sexy bass line.
Sexy.
Yeah. And then for a bonus, number 3, the title track where the end meets the beginning, because it was the first time I wrote lyrics, and I'm not allowed to write lyrics again because apparently writing a different chorus each time is not good for Josh to remember the lines.
Yeah. That defeats the object of a chorus, doesn't it? Like instead of just a chorus that repeats, you have a different set of lyrics in each chorus. So instead of just having 3 verses and 1 chorus to remember, you've got basically 6 verses to remember.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm trying to tell a story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't play by the rules, man. This is heavy metal. We don't play by the rules.
It's my first masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song.
Yeah, man.
My favorite songs, Laguna is a favorite because that was like the first time we wrote a song that was, like you say, it was weird. It wasn't kind of like straight ahead like groovy stoner metal. It was sort of got some psychedelic stuff going on and cool.
Just a bit of trivia there for Laguna. I actually wrote it by accident.
You know what? You fell on a pen and lyrics came out. You know?
No, it's like that bass line of the guitar chord. I was like, it was in my head, so I recorded it. And I'm like, that'll never be a song. And I sent it to the guys, and it's like, it's fucking amazing. Let's sort something like that. Oh God, bloody hell, I didn't know that. So it's kind of cool that it can be open about like sharing everything, and it can become a song, no matter how strange you think it is or stuff like that. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
No, so Laguna is a favorite. Strong Beer's a favorite because that was the first song I wrote for the band that got through the sort of the process and was actually allowed. And it's gone on to be like a song that seems to connect with people. I think it's that cheeky chorus in it: strong beer, medium drugs. that people like. So I really like playing that song live. And also I like Nothing Hits, like This Thing Hits. I like playing that because we usually finish with that song, or we have done when we were playing the gigs for the first album, and it's got a really cool riff. And it was, can you remember how difficult it was for me to play that riff when you first showed it to me? That shuffle in the verse while like trying to do the vocals at the same time. Oh man, that was a killer. But like now, I think I'm pretty good now. So yeah, those three songs are my favorite.
Okay.
You just said that's one that you really like playing live. Is there anything else which your other favourites? That you look forward to playing, and is there a song on a second album that you can't wait to play live?
Oh man, there is one on the album. It's going to be the second video single thing that we release next month, the week before Pentre Fest, actually, on the 17th. It's a song called Desside. And again, it was something that I experimented with songwriting wise, and obviously took it to the guys, and it became this song. And it's just sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And the whole album. I just want to play everything.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to playing everything off the album. I'm really looking forward to the album release part. And I think we're going to try and play the whole album, every single song off it. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, everything. New Beginnings, that song. I'm really looking forward to playing that. That's a heavy ass song.
That is a heavy ass song for us.
It's a heavy ass song. Yeah.
So the album release party then, since you brought it up, let's talk about that then. Tell us where it is, what's going on, who else is playing,
cool,
and why we should spend our hard-earned cash coming to see you.
Well, because you all love us, that's why you should come. Well, we booked it in a particular venue because then no one can turn around and say we can't organise a piss up in a brewery. Because the old Cold Store is part of Castle Rock Brewery. And if you're local to Nottingham, it's where we had the Mangata Fest last year. So there's the brewery pub, and then there's the outbuilding, and then there's a big square outdoor bit where they had the big stage for Mangata Fest. And when we were sort of doing this album, we want to try and get as much done properly as best we can. So we enlisted Mangata Promotions to help us promote the gig. And because there's quite a few venues in Nottingham, but we wanted one that was one that we haven't really played a lot of, and two, because there's metal to the masses, everything going off, everyone's in the same venues every weekend. So it's like, do the old Cold Store, just because it's a cool sort of relatively new venue to Nottingham. It's in a brewery. We're playing obviously for album launch. We've enlisted Sylvain, who were the Leicester Metal to the Masses winners last year. Done a couple of gigs with those guys.
Great.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, so they're really cool guys. We get along with them really well. And then we've got our fellow Metal to the Masses finalist, Silk Rats, from Nottingham as well. Just go rock and roll.
Yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, I just think, you should come and spend your money because, like Steph says, there's going to be two awesome support bands. Like Sylvain, they're making pretty big waves in the underground at the moment, and Silk Rats, so I think they're on the cusp of it. And also you get to see us play the new album in its entirety, play a few tracks off the old album. Who knows, we might even cover some songs by other bands as well. We're going to play for ages. We're going to play for about 4 hours, I reckon.
Yeah. We're going to play 2112 twice.
Twice, yeah.
Once forwards and then backwards.
And what date is that?
That is the Friday, the 14th of April, the same day the album releases. But if everyone is nice and pre-orders a copy of the album, I may be tempted to post them out a few days earlier, so you go, it's embedded in your brain.
So you kind of learn it before you arrive.
You learn all the dance moves and the shouty bits, and when to throw tomatoes at us and stuff.
because that's important with your show. Everybody needs to know the dance moves before they arrive.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we are a TikTok sensation in another universe. Yeah.
Maybe we should be. Maybe we should start posting TikTok dance videos to try and promote our music.
I don't know, man. It's just hard enough to write songs sometimes.
Is that where the little spaceman's going in wavelengths to the other universe to do his dance moves?
Yeah, we should do like a multiverse theme with Syncolima and get like some lookalikes to be in a different multiverse and actually do good stuff while we'd be lazy like we normally are. And have to go to work.
I don't know if you remember at Bloodstock, there was actually some people in the pit doing the Macarena.
Yes, I recall it very well. It was beautiful.
Probably Beanie.
It was Kelly. It was Kelly. So yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do a dance move, I mean, Macarena is a classic. Other dance moves are available, but it's right up there in the top 3, I'd say.
Kelly seems to think you can Macarena to absolutely anything, and every time we're at a gig, regardless of who's playing, she proves it to me time and time again. So.
And that actually only works if it's in 4/4. So if you played us some weird progressive stuff that wasn't in 4/4, I'd like to see her do that.
That just sounds like a challenge, and
it does,
she'll bring something dodgy to Pentre Fest and show you.
That'd be glorious. Sweet.
So just while we're talking bollocks, is there any strange stuff that's happened to you while you're on the road, or any strange requests from fans or anything daft like that?
Ooh, I mean, we had I can't remember what it was. I think it was the end of the year before, so we just sort of got the first album out, and we had a few gigs, and we went up and played a gig in Middlesbrough, and we booked a hotel for the night, so it was due over in Blackpool the next day. And then the gig in Blackpool got cancelled, so we're just like, oh, let's stay in the hotel anyway. It was really nice. We slept in the same bed, and then we got breakfast the next day. That was pretty cool.
That was weird. Sleeping in the same bed was weird.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Where was the gig? Where the stage was about the size of a pool table.
Was that in oh bloody hell! That was in South Wales.
Cheltenham? Am I wrong? Chepstow.
Chepstow.
We played in Chepstow.
You know the guys, Kerry and Paul. Is it Paul that do the South? The stuff they used to do it at the Doll's House. Rock and Roll Circus guys.
Oh yeah.
No, I think they put it was a memorial gig for a gentleman from one of the bands over there, Kev. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, we'll come down and we'll do a set for you guys, and it was in this pub in where was it again? Chepstow. And it's like fucking hell, it's tiny, and like the PA was like on the stands and everything, and the pub was rammed. It was great. And do you know what? It was one of the best gigs we've done. It was fucking loud, glasses getting smashed, people walking past, knocking the speakers over. It was great.
Cymbal stand right behind you like this.
Yeah, like we had to like crane the drummer in behind the kit because there was no room. So like guys go like lift you up, park you at the back there. You gated in there with cymbals and then amps in front of me like that. It's like what? Yeah, it's cool as fuck. Yeah.
It was cool. The mic stand was off because the stage was so small. The legs of the mic stand were off the stage, and then the boom was just sticking over my pedal board onto the stage. And people kept coming in and out of the pub, and everyone that walked past was like knocking the mic stand and the speakers over. So the sound guy just abandoned the mixing desk and came down the front and basically just guarded the sort of like corner where the mic stand and the speaker was.
I've had experience of doing that in my time.
So basically what you're saying is you don't want a stage, you just want us to stick you in the corner or on a table or something.
Yeah, and have people just randomly walk into us while we play, because that's that.
We could set them up in the corridor, dude.
At our Wrexham venue, which we need to get you up to probably later in the year,
Definitely.
in excess. We've got like a little platform that's just next to where the DJ booth is. And you can't get a drum kit on there, but it'd be fun to try and get you to play on it. It's about 3-foot triangle. That
It
could
can
work
be
quite
done.
well.
Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you guys?
I think that's bigger than the Chepstow stage. So yeah.
If you guys have heard of Foreman's Bar in Nottingham, that little punk bar,
Yeah.
it's tiny. It's probably about the size of your monitor. But I remember they put gigs on in there, and it's like, where the fuck are you going to get a 5-piece band on in here? And they do it, and yeah, one person watching, it's sold out. It's great. So yeah, being from Nottingham, we're used to tiny spaces, so it's fine. We'll make do. We've done worse.
Listen, I love Nottingham. Whenever I've been there, I've had an absolute ball.
Me too.
I haven't been there for a long time though. I think last time I went was when Hell played their gig,
Oh, yeah.
and that was amazing. But yeah, we do need to get back down that way soon. So maybe, you never know, something might happen for your album launch.
Yeah, come down. We'll get you a tour. We'll get you some chicken wings and yeah.
Chicken wings.
Yeah.
Well, I was quite impressed because there was a sign that said it was the City of Caves.
Yes.
And I'd never heard of that before. The lad who I was with was actually called Paul Cave. So obviously we were over the moon with that.
Yeah.
That was it.
No, it's yeah. There was actually an underground network of caves in Nottingham and quite a few pubs. Their sellers sort of expanding the caves, and there's like a visitors centre in the Broadmarsh Centre, and then if you go to the Old Angel, they used to do screenings. When Game of Thrones was out,
Yeah.
they used to do like the premieres in the caves, so set a TV up and things like that, and a lot of the old pubs in Nottingham do that. Yeah.
You just mentioned the toilet downstairs behind a silly, dodgy wall. There was one. I went downstairs and they said, "Oh yeah, you've got to find it. You got to find. You like literally just pressing all the walls and stuff
Oh,
to try and find the toilet."
that's Pit and Pendulum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of pendulum, was it?
Yeah. It's behind the bookcase. Yeah.
It's behind.
Well,
Oh, you've ruined it for everyone.
I was half cut. I'd never been there before, and I needed to piss. I was literally going to piss on the bookcase, to be honest.
Most people do, but it's fine. Yeah, I don't think anything overly weird. We're quite clean cut now, to be fair. We behave ourselves, and it's all about playing the gig. So we don't get up to naughty things, and nothing bad really happens. So.
Yeah.
Sorry,
do you remember when we played at the Sallow? And you were that was like one of the few gigs we've done where you acted as promoter as well as playing.
Oh shit, yeah. I put on a charity all day, and obviously I'm there all day, and they're drinking all day, and
yeah. By the time we played it, like, what time did we go on? About 7, 8. You were so far gone. Not that you played good. It's just when you just decided to get naked halfway through the set, which was
yeah. It was very, very, very warm. It
was warm.
Yeah.
It's a promoter's thing, innit? When you're there all day, people are buying you drinks and stuff. You can't help it. You just have to have a few bevies,
Yeah.
I know Fozzie's standing there going, no.
Always at Pentre Fest, and always on the Friday, not the Saturday. It always turns into me turning up, being really professional, making sure everything's on time, and then somebody walks over to me about second band in and goes, "Fine, Fozzie," and that's it. That's it. It all falls apart from that point on.
Yeah.
I've got to get up on the Saturday morning and make sure that the pub's open and that we can put the second day on.
So when we turn up on Saturday, do you want us to bring you like a big fat kebab or something?
Yes.
Or fried breakfast?
Yeah, fried breakfast. That's all.
I'll tell you what, we've got Frank. Frank's going to be opening the acoustic stage for us, and he's never played a live gig show before, and he's actually quite nervous about it. So we've got to be careful and make sure he gets absolutely wasted on the Friday night. So he's got a stinking hangover.
You never know.
Is there anything you guys want to particularly talk about that we haven't covered?
Um, well, we're playing Pentre Fest. That's quite important. Make sure
Yeah.
everyone knows that Pentre Fest is a thing and that we're playing it and other bands are playing it, and it's going to be a very, very good weekend.
So, is there any other
Um,
bands on the bill that you're looking forward to seeing?
do you know what? I missed the Cunts at Bloodstock, and I'd be quite interested to see that because I think they're headlining the Saturday night, aren't they?
They are.
They are
Yes.
indeed.
Yeah, and it'd be good to catch up with like bands I haven't seen probably since before lockdown. So like Pollution and folk like that, and obviously seeing you guys again, and drinking that lovely ale that they've got there.
I'm looking forward to seeing Pelusion and King Kraken and the Cunts, but mainly Pelusion because I've not seen them for years, and I really look forward to seeing how they're getting on now. And also King Kraken of like their album coming out is making big waves in the underground, isn't it? So looking forward to seeing those guys.
They're a band we tried to book for a long time as well, but we never seemed to be able to, you know, match our schedules until this year. So obviously we're made up to be able to get it over the line this year. Um, that's generally the problem we have is, everyone wants all the good bands to play, don't they? So trying to pin them down and get them to come this way can be difficult sometimes.
Or just settle for booking us. It's fine.
I have a question. We sometimes talk about these things. How many Warwick Davises do you think it would take to defeat Tyson Fury in a physical fight?
Anything goes physical fight.
Yeah, anything goes. And there can be as many Warwick Davises as you need, but how many Warwick Davises before they can overpower one Tyson Fury?
Does he have the power of Willow?
No, he's got the power of Warwick Davis.
I think he just bite him on his knee and not let go until he died. So just the one.
Just one? Just
the
one,
one,
Warwick
yeah.
Davis?
Yeah. I think Tyson Fury's too tall. He won't be able to get down to him. So I think he just grab him by the knee and bite him.
I'm gonna say 5.
5 Warwick Davises.
Yeah, if you get like,
is there a definitive answer? Because I feel as though I need to know now. Are we going to have to make this happen?
Well, you'll have to develop the technology to clone Warwick Davis.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
I do think it's something we might struggle to get sanctioned. There might be a bit of a weight difference.
Potentially. Yeah. But if you put Warwick Davis, if you put Warwick
These
Davis
are the questions
in a Tyson Fury kind of suit, got him to stand on top of each other to be the same size, then you'd probably kind of have your answer. Because
like Iron Man, but instead of like an iron suit, it'd be like a boxing guy suit. It'd be very not the superhero we deserve.
Filled with multiple Warwick Davis.
So this going to be the first song on the third album then?
You never know.
Do
that's assuming it's not on the second one.
It might be a secret track. Just sat around debating how many Warwick Davises we need in our lives.
We should have done it as the cover.
I should put it out to Josh while it's over my shoulder that way. That is a pop punk signed T-shirt from Sponge.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
I'll show you something well better and proper cool.
Oh yeah, it's turned into less of an interview and more show and tell. It's like Through the Keyhole.
Not Jesus. No, he's gone.
Is that Jesus? Can't hear you.
My Dying Bride's latest album, signed by the artist and Aaron. So there you go. It's better than fucking pop punk, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not at home at the moment. I'm at my girlfriend's house, but I've got Dave Lombardo's drumstick from Ozfest 2002.
Ooh.
Mm.
I was at that one.
It was my first festival. I was 14.
I came back from Lanzarote for that gig.
It was awesome. And watching Ian Watkins get his microphone taken out by a bottle of water. These things come around.
So we're going to say a massive thank you to Syncolima, who you can see on the 25th of February at Mcleans pub, Pentre, for Pentre Fest. They're on at 6:30. Do not miss their set. It will be awesome.
Drink and enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Nice one.
That's how metal we are. We're drinking tea.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. We are Syncolima, and here is our new song, Wavelengths.
Lost